We're going to talk a little Guardians Bowl after a quick word from FanDuel, which is America's #1 sportsbook. And right now we have a little something different for you guys. Now through September 22nd, all FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get a 3-week free trial of NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Then with the YouTube TV base plan, you'll be able to watch every regular season Sunday afternoon out-of-market game. All you need is a Google account and a current form of payment, and you can cancel anytime you want. Just visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to download America's #1 sportsbook. Bull, I got to ask you this specifically, and I want to start with you. Obviously, the Guardians got the sweep. You called it. Lane Thomas is getting hot at the right time for the Guardians. Check out the splits from Lane Thomas from August to September. In August, 77 at-bats. September, just 37. But look at the difference. 3 home runs this month, none last month. 13 RBIs this month, 10 more than in August. His OPS drastically better. His batting average drastically better. The player on the right is significantly better than the player the Guardians thought they were acquiring. The player on the left, significantly worse than the player the Guardians thought they were acquiring. So are you buying the turnaround? Maybe not to this level of production, but are you buying the turnaround here for Lane Thomas?
I like the move when they traded for him. I said all along, we can't write this guy off after a few weeks. You know, baseball's not like football or basketball where, like, LeBron James doesn't go into a slump for a month. And not that it's fair to compare Lane Thomas to LeBron James, but even like Aaron Judge right now, for the last 2 weeks, he's been terrible. He's hitting like $150 for 2 weeks. You're never going to see an equivalent of that for LeBron James or Patrick Mahomes. It's just like, you might have a bad game. LeBron has a bad game, but he's not going to have like 8 games, 10 games in a row where he stinks.
Yeah, he might have a couple games in a row. Like,
when the last time you seen LeBron have a couple bad games?
I mean, LeBron is, you can't compare anybody really to LeBron.
I mean, a bad game for LeBron is like 21,
you gotta say like
7 and 8.
You got to say like Kyrie Irving or something like that.
A bad game for LeBron is just the shooting percentage sucks.
Yeah.
He still scores. But like, Kyrie or whatever. Like, Kyrie's not going to go a month where he sucks as long as he's healthy.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
And in baseball, even the best players can have a really bad, like Jose has been a great player. He's been a top 10 hitter in baseball for 6-7 years now, but he'll still have a month where he's, batting .210 with no power. It's the nature of the sport. Now, Lane Thomas, again, he's not that level of player. So when you talk about Lane Thomas, who's like a good player, a starter, just a nice player, those guys are going to have 2 slumps, 3 slumps during the season. It's just part of the sport. So now his slump was particularly bad.
Was it as bad as Stephen Kwan's?
Yeah. Now, Stephen Kwan has lasted longer.
I mean, Kwan's still in the slump.
He did get 2 hits yesterday. Maybe that'll get him out of it.
Wait, where is he at? Is he 296?
He's at 290 right now. Stephen Kwan's stats, Steve, if you want to take that
That is
full.
unbelievable. His batting average
Up
is down.
to 290. He's
It's
actually
up because he got 2 hits yesterday.
I looked at this yesterday, Bull. He had fallen to 17th in the league. This was before yesterday. I looked at the current stats.
It hurts my
He had
heart.
fallen to 17th in the league in
my
batting
heart.
average.
It's my fault.
He's up to 4. He's
What's
up to
funny
14.
is if you told me on April 1st that on September 12th this would be Stephen Kwan's numbers, I would have been like, good. That's good. Nice season for Stephen Kwan. But the way he's gotten here,
I mean, when you're a hitter that just is okay, I need singles and doubles.
Yeah.
That's what my highlights are. That's
He
hard.
was hitting them out the park.
I'm just saying that's hard to play like that. Like, even if someone like Jose or Judge or some of these other dudes go into slumps, there's still sprinkled power numbers in between those slumps.
Right.
So it don't look as bad. Like, and plus they're still in bases. But if he don't hit 2-3 hits a game, then that's what his contribution is to the team. So it's like
in the first half of the season, he was, as hot as you can be, and then he's just been terrible. I'm hoping the 2 hits yesterday maybe gets him going, but it is amazing that his batting average has dropped 100 points.
That's wow.
At this late in the season, that's just crazy.
He's saving it for the postseason.
Hopefully, yes.
He better. His last 30 days have not been good.
Not good. We have, what's today? Thursday, so we have 18 days left in the regular season. The Guardians have pretty much locked up the division. I mean, they've definitely locked, they're going to the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to go to win the division. The Twins did win, but the Royals, who are in second place right now, they lost to the Yankees. Was it extra innings or they lost on a walk-off? And now the Guardians come home. They have an 8-game home. That series with Cincinnati is at home, Mike.
And this is 2 weeks in a row. Anthony screwed up the schedule.
Yeah, that Cincinnati series is at
Gotta
home.
get on him.
So that St. Louis series is the only road series they have left. They have 13 of their final 16 games at home. They have, I believe, a 4.5-game lead over Kansas City, 5 in the loss column. Yeah, 5 in the loss column. They would have to completely fall apart in these final 16 games to not win the division.
Let me take a look
Why
at
they
this.
can't win all 16 and win 100 games?
They could. They probably won't, but they could.
That's not happening.
That's crazy because about the All-Star break, we was talking about they probably could get 100 wins.
They're still going to win. I think they'll win about 95 games. I mean, that's a darn good season, winning 95 games.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in the American League is going to win 100. How many wins do the Yankees have? They only have one more than the Guardians, right? They're tied?
No, they're tied.
Yeah, so I don't think anybody's winning 100.
What about the Dodgers?
How many?
The Phillies?
What's the Dodgers record? I don't think they're going to win 100.
Dodgers have 87, which is the most in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, they might win 100, but I don't know if they're definitely going to win 100.
If the season ended today,
Yeah.
Yankees will win the AL East, Guardian AL Central.
Right.
Astros win the West, Orioles win the wild card. You get the Royals in the wild card and the Twins in the wild card.
Yes.
So
I thought
they would
the
at this
Tigers
point
tried
they
to
would
make
get a
a
bye.
push.
The Guardians would get a bye as the 2 seed. They're very likely. What's the Astros record?
The Astros are 77 and 68.
And the Guardians have
84.
84 wins.
Yeah, the Guardians at worst are going to finish as the 2 seed. Most likely. I'd say there's a 95% chance they win the division, and there's a 95% chance they're either the 1 or 2 seed. The Yankees, Yankees or Orioles will be either the 1 or 2 seed, and the Guardians will be either the 1 or 2 seed. If you're the 2 seed, you get a bye, then you play the 3-6 winner. Mm-hmm. Now,
it may be better for the Guardians to
it
play the
might
3-6
actually be
winner.
better for the Guardians to be the 2 seed. Now, here's the perfect scenario for the Guardians.
Okay.
You're the 2 seed, the Yankees get upset.
Well, no, yes. So you're the 2 seed. The 6 seed, whoever that's going to, right now would be the Twins. But it could be Detroit. It could end up being Boston. It could be Seattle. Whoever ends up the 6 seed beats Houston. And then the Orioles have to play the Yankees in the ALDS. The Guardians play either the Twins or one of these other teams.
Yep.
And then the Orioles beat the Yankees in the ALDS. So the Guardians would then play the Orioles, and the Guardians would have home field advantage.
That's the big one, the home field advantage for the Guardians.
Yes, if the Guardians end up the 2 seed, then the Yankees and Orioles will play each other in the second round, and you won't have to beat both of those teams. Now, ultimately, they're not going to look at it that way. They're going to want to be the 1 seed to have home field. But yes, it's not terrible if they finish as the 2.
But the last time the Cleveland team decided to not go for it all.
Yeah. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're going to play to the end. But I'm just saying, from an outsider's perspective, it's not terrible if they finish the 2 seed. They got to get a bye. They're going to. They're far enough ahead of Houston. I can't imagine they'll blow that lead to Houston. Even if they play 500 baseball the rest of the season, they're going to win 92 games and be probably the 2 seed, even if they played 500. And considering 13 of the 16 are at home and the only road series is a subpar St. Louis team, they're in good shape to win, win more than that. I still think they're going to win 95 games. Mike, they got Tampa and then Minnesota, right? Give me the schedule again.
Don't pull the schedule up because it's incorrect.
Okay.
But I will tell you.
Yeah.
It goes Tampa.
Right, then Minnesota.
Minnesota, at St. Louis, home for 2 against Cincinnati, home for 3 against Houston to finish off.
Right. So they got to make sure they control their destiny with Houston at the end.
That 3-game series at the end could be very big in terms of
it could also be meaningless. Hopefully it will, so they can set. Well, you know what? If the Guardians get a bye, you don't have to worry about setting up your rotation because you'll be off enough days that it doesn't matter. Big start today against Tampa Bay for Gavin Williams because obviously he's been very inconsistent. I'd like to see him pitch well.
3-8.
The Rays just got swept by somebody good. I can't remember who it was.
Rays got swept by the Phillies, who, by the way, Phillies have the most wins in baseball. Is wrong. They have 88.
At 88, and they have 16 left.
Dodgers have 87 wins.
Yeah.
The Phillies record is 88 and 58.
So that's
Quick math.
146. They have 16 left.
16 left.
I don't think anybody's winning 100 this year. I think the Phillies got a shot. They'd have to win 3/4 of their games. They got a shot, but anyway, so Tampa comes to town, 4-game set, and then you got to put Minnesota. You can wipe Minnesota right out
by just getting them off.
Yeah, well, you got a 4-game series with them at home next week, Monday to Thursday.
4 games. I thought it was 3.
Right,
So,
or they can make it interesting.
Yeah, hopefully not. But they seem to be in a good spot. Obviously, we'll follow it down the stretch, and
They said
playoffs coming in a month.
They said 100% chance they're going to the playoffs, and 90% chance the odds are that they'll win the division.
Yeah, well, it can't be 100% because they haven't clinched yet. But
I mean,
99.9.
They
would have to lose almost every game the rest of the year to not make the playoffs. But they're going to clinch a playoff spot maybe by the end of this weekend. But they still want to win their division, obviously, and they probably will.
How do you? And let me just throw this in actually really quickly about this.
Yeah.
I really think that there's a chance that the Guardians could receive a boost if the Browns continue to start off where they are. I think that the Guardians will receive a boost in overall attendance. I think they'll sell out a lot of, especially when it gets to the playoffs.
Yeah.
If the Guardians are winning and the Guardians are in first or second place, and the Browns continue to do what they do, I think it could be one of those things where you could see for a couple of weeks people literally more interested in.
Yeah, it is possible. Let's hope that. I mean, I obviously want people to be interested in the Guardians. We don't want the Browns to be playing to the point where people are not that interested. That would be bad.
If the Browns,
But it is possible.
That's why I'm honest with you, man. This is a very pivotal time for Deshaun Watson and Kevin Stefanski. You don't want to start that whole march down the whole aisle with we're now 0-2, and you look at some of these games coming up, and those games, the winnable games you thought was winnable, now become games where that's why the schedule game's so dangerous.
Yeah.
These games that become winnable or that were winnable that you was chalking up now need to be stop the bleeding games.
Yeah.
like I said, if they get to week 3 and they 0-3, they lose to the Giants.
Oh my God, it was the Giants.
I'm telling you right now, it's they're gonna be spamming the
It's
panic
Jameis
button.
Winston time if that
They
happens.
they spamming the panic button. I'm just telling you.
All right, Mike, we have our guest.
We do. It's going to
Okay.
bring in our guest here in 1